Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler and starring Michael B. Jordan. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their Mississippi hometown to start again, only to discover an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
Hey there, whoa there, it's Rogue here. Sinners has taken over the world, and a lot of people are calling this the best movie of the year. Now, I will be talking spoilers after I give my rating, so stick around if you're interested in that. Let's start with the positives.
Love you, brother. Be careful. I will.
This film is a beautiful period piece taking place in 1932 Mississippi. The aesthetic of this film is absolutely stunning. It does feel like 1932, but it almost feels otherworldly because it's a very stylish and sophisticated 1932. I really enjoyed seeing the cars and the train. I thought the wardrobes and the set designs were absolutely stunning. I really enjoyed this world and getting to know these characters. Of course, because it is 1932 Mississippi, there are racial tensions in the air, and I thought that this film addressed it perfectly without being too heavy-handed.
People with the gift of making music so true. It can conjure spirits from the past and the future.
So the music in this film is absolutely incredible. The singing, the dancing, and not only that, but the music has something to do with the plot in this film. I will elaborate more in the spoiler section of this video, but I just thought everything they did with the music was absolutely fascinating. There are several actors that are giving incredible performances in this movie, and since I was just speaking about the music, let's start with the actors who perform. Sammy, played by Miles Caton, is incredible. Apparently, he learned how to play the guitar just for this role, and you could have fooled me. I would have thought he had been playing the guitar all his life, and that's the reason he was cast. Not only is he incredible at playing the guitar, but he's also a singer. He is singing blues. His love interest in the film, Pearline, played by Jamie Lawson, is also an incredible singer and dancer. These two characters had great chemistry as well. Jack O'Connell, who plays Remick, the lead vampire, is insanely talented. He's playing instruments, he's singing, and he's dancing. I'm not exactly sure what the dancing style is, but his footwork is incredible.
What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party.
Jack O'Connell gives an incredible voice performance in 3 different ways. The singing, and he also uses 2 different accents in the film. The first accent is when he's pretending to be human. He uses a southern drawl because this is Mississippi.
You don't need no saving.
Yes, you do.
And you are?
I am. Your way out.
And the second accent is after he has revealed himself to be a vampire. He uses his Irish accent. Incredible performance from this guy. Michael B. Jordan plays 2 characters in this film, twin brothers named Smoke and Stack.
You twins?
Nah, we cousins.
Let me first say that Michael B. Jordan is so sexy. Oh my goodness. There were a few moments where I could not pay attention. I was just zoned out, staring at his muscles. No, but seriously, he's giving a good performance in this movie. Not only does he look good, but he's also giving a good performance. He is playing twins that are gangsters that worked for Capone in Chicago, and they have recently returned home to Mississippi.
We've been gone a long time. We back now.
So while I do think that Michael B. Jordan gave a good performance, I need to be honest. I almost put him in the mixed category because he is playing two characters, but he only gives one performance. He doesn't really differentiate between the two characters, and the only way I was able to know which brother was which is by the color of their hats or the woman on their arm. I just felt like he could have done more because there was not a difference in his performance, whether he was Smoke or Stack. But I did enjoy the performance he gave. It's just he was supposed to give two. I really enjoyed the first act. His performance is a lot of fun. Watching these twins go through the motion of their day and putting together the puzzle pieces of who they are and what is going on with them. Pretty quickly, each brother cross paths with their ex. And that is when Michael B. Jordan is at his best, is when he is with a love interest, especially the love interest named Annie, played by Wunmi Musaku. Smoke and Annie have a tragic but beautiful love story. Annie is a witch doctor, and she ends up being a very important character when it comes to figuring out what they're dealing with. I think that Wunmi gives an incredible performance, and she has such great chemistry with Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, get back inside.
I really like the vampires in this film. Their nature is mean and they manipulate. They seem to follow the general vampire lore, but there's also a twist involving the music that is very interesting.
Your way out. Don't cry. It's all better now.
Yes, I lied to you.
The lead vampire, Remick, I also like his motivation. I will elaborate on that more in the spoilers. And my final positive is going to be how horny this movie is. There are multiple moments of explicit dialogue and sex scenes that almost felt real.
Careful, boy. You gonna bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah, this film is certified freaky. Do not bring your young children to watch this one. Again, I will be elaborating in the spoilers section. All right, let's discuss the aspects of the film that I feel mixed about.
Love you, brother. Be careful. I will.
I felt like this movie was at its strongest in the first half, especially the first act. I was very intrigued by these twins and this gin joint that they were preparing. It was interesting to see them come back to their hometown and people's reaction to them. Then the second half of the film is the gin joint and the vampires. And that's where the film was still enjoyable, but it didn't live up to the epicness that the first half was setting up. This is almost like two different movies in one. The first half is a period piece drama mystery, and then the second half is a vampire movie. What? It was enjoyable, but that first half of the film was just so epic, and the second half was just good. Haley Steinfeld as Mary is not giving a bad performance, but she's also not giving a good performance. I just felt like she was out of place amongst everyone else because they were giving such incredible performances, and hers was just barely good enough. Mary is the love interest for Stack, and I just did not feel the chemistry between Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan, with the exception of their sex scene, which really isn't saying much because it's Michael B. Jordan. Most women would have a sexual chemistry with him. So besides the sex scene, I just did not believe the chemistry between them.
We gonna kill every last one of you.
It wasn't all bad though. I do think her performance gets better in the second half of the film. And now let's jump into the negatives.
We've been gone a long time. We back now.
This film does take a while to get things going. It is really slow, especially if you go into this knowing that there are vampires. It takes a really long time to get to the vampires. This is basically two different movies in one. The tone in the first half is very different from the tone in the second half. And because of that, it can feel like there is too much setup and there are absolutely pacing issues all throughout the film. I do think that a good 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even up to 45 minutes, could have been removed just to make this a more enjoyable viewing experience. Overall, I had a good time with Sinners. I thought it was beautiful. I love that it's a period piece. We are getting some incredible performances in this film. Do I think this is going to be the best movie of the year? No, but I do think it will be one of the best movies of the year. I think it'll be in the top 5, maybe even the top 3. Is this movie overhyped? Maybe a little teeny tiny smidget. Just a little tiny bit smidget overhyped. But this is a really good movie. All right, I'm going to be giving Sinners a Rogue Reviews 8 out of 10. A big thank you for watching my spoiler-free review. And for those of you who are sticking around for spoilers, let's get into it.
Hey, I didn't mean to scare you. Thought y'all done forgot about me in here.
The way that the music draws in the vampires is so fascinating. Sammy, also known as Preacher Boy, is so good at playing the guitar and singing the blues that he is able to open up a portal through time and space, which the vampires are drawn to and they want for themselves, which is such a good idea for a movie because in real life, there are celebrities that have been accused of selling their soul to the devil for their talents, their riches, and fame. And then there's also the fact that white artists have stolen from black artists in centuries past. And I thought it was such an interesting plot. There was one scene, though, that I did not like, and it is when the music of the past was meeting with the future. So we see like a Jimi Hendrix-like character and someone on the DJ booth and a rapper. I don't know. I mean, I seen what they were going for, and I guess it was artistic, but I preferred when we were listening to the blues and getting to experience the 1930s instead of going to the future. I like that the main vampire, Remick, has a motivation that is to still Sammy's music ability. I'm so glad this is not another love-struck vampire. Okay, he comes with bad intentions. Remick is a performer himself. We see him play instruments, dance, and sing. He sings in both a Southern accent and an Irish accent. It totally makes sense why Remick would want to turn Sammy.
We've been gone a long time. We back now.
Something I didn't like about the ending of this film is the twins' past in Chicago does not catch up to them. We learn that they have robbed 2 rival gangs, but they figured out that the twins had framed it. So how come we didn't see gangsters from Chicago make their way down to Mississippi? That's what I thought this film was building up to, and then instead we get racist. This is 2 different movies, and I wish we would have gotten a conclusion for the gangster stuff, but I also wish we would have gotten more of the vampire stuff. So it's 2 different movies, and I didn't feel completely satisfied with either one, especially when the racists come back at the end. I had already forgotten about those characters. I was totally expecting Chicago gangsters. I also would have liked more time with the vampires. I thought the vampires in this movie were so good, and I wish we could have had more time with them and learned more about them and their lore, their social hierarchy, all of that stuff. The human versus vampire battle in the 3rd act just wasn't very satisfying for me. I did not like that one of the characters yelled out, "Come on in." And then the sun rises like 20 minutes later. Are you kidding? Like, they couldn't have held out just a little bit longer for sunrise. So many people did not have to die or become a vampire, but because of that one character, a lot of people were doomed. I also thought that the vampire hunters would come back into play. When we are introduced to the character of Remick, he literally drops in from out of the sky, and there's this really cool audio. We hear bats in the background, so that lets us know that these vampires also can take the bat form. Again, I wish we could have spent more time with the vampires. Remick drops in and he runs to this random house looking for a way to escape the sun. He's led into this house, and then there's a knock at the door, and it is Native Americans. They're vampire hunters. We never see these vampire hunters again, and I would have liked them to come back at some point. They could have even gave us some exposition to learn more about the vampires. Something. I just wish we could have gotten more. There was also a consistency issue with the blood. Sometimes the blood was a dark red and thick viscosity, and then sometimes the blood was light pink and very runny, almost like Indiana Jones.
Careful, boy. You gonna bite off more than you can chew.
This movie is so horny. There are very explicit lines of dialogue, and the sex scenes are really something. There was one moment that made me bust out laughing. I mean, I absolutely lost it. So it's Stat and Mary talking to each other outside of the train station. This is the first time they've seen each other in several years. So Mary tells Stack, "You said you loved me." Stack says, "Yeah, and I also told you to leave me the fuck alone." And then Mary says, "Yeah, I remember you said that, but then you ate my pussy and fucked me so hard that I figured you changed your mind." It was hilarious. I lost it. I busted out laughing.
No magic.
I didn't really care for how this movie ended because the vampires are defeated by sunlight, which of course is a classic vampire death. But Remick was such a smart vampire that I think he deserved a better death than that, because it was pretty clear that the sun was rising, and as much as he wanted Sammy's talent, I don't think he would have risked being in the sun. There's also a mid-credit and a post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is actually cool. We catch up with Sammy now that he is an old man in the early 90s, and we learn that Stack and Mary were not vanquished during the sunrise. They tell Sammy that his time is near and they offer him immortality to be a vampire, which he turns down, and he is able to keep his talent and go to heaven. I thought Sinners was a really good movie and I really enjoyed it. I thought the vampires in this movie were awesome, and this movie was so beautiful. The period piece stuff was just incredible. The vampires were absolutely awesome. The singing, the dancing, everything was incredible. Join my Rogues Gallery by clicking the subscribe button. A big thank you to everyone who made it to the end of the video. Give this video a like and leave a comment down below to show your support. And follow me on Instagram at Alexis Has Gone Rogue.